Alright, it is time for the last day of Exodus. So, today we are going to be farming at OP10, and I thought to go ahead and save ourselves a little bit of time. I copied my normal Maya that I typically run in-game content. So I've got a lot of stuff that we should really discount because I don't know if any of it is correct, if any of it is changed or stuff like that. I am simply using this character to go ahead and farm out other stuff. To start with, we are going to look at a couple of redeemable codes, because there are just redeemable codes in this mod. And so to redeem them, apparently you just copy that text, paste it in here. It didn't do the thing. Okay, so you can redeem some of the codes. They are on the wiki, and that should have given us a Crimson Sky. So this is an item you can redeem once while you're playing. It will be the level of your character, and I don't really know what it does, so I'm slightly concerned. Probably have to go ahead and leave this area and shoot it somewhere else and see what it does. Alright, go ahead and shoot it near mobs. There we go. Okay, that's pretty sick. I do like that. So it's supposed to be like an ordnance type of deal there. It's probably could be a little bit stronger, but I guess you could redeem this way earlier into the game and use it for some farming or something like this. But it's a very, very cool concept. I do like this idea. Alright, and really quick, since we are here and I have a grog, we're going to try to grog stack really quick. Alright, we have some junk effects here. And yes, it did in fact cause more pellets to spawn. Okay, that's kind of fun. Okay, well, I couldn't get the other code to redeem, so we will go ahead and just get started on farming some equipment. So I'll go ahead and check the list of items I've got, and we'll see what we want to do. Alright, so the first item of many is the Eviscerator, which drops from Bunker. It's an OP level exclusive drop, so you do have to at least be OP1 to get this 2 drop. I haven't really looked too much at what it does. It looks like it just deals 200% more damage on the last shot, which could be pretty strong with Sal, even though it's a sniper. So it could be odd and probably not useful at the same time, but I'll head over there and we can see if we can get the drop. You did not give Torg weapons increased swap speed. They knew what they were doing when they made this. They know what they were doing. Also, I guess while I am here farming Bunker, technically the Gen 2 comm should be correct on this character. So if we look at the nurse here, it increases elemental effect damage resistance by 50% for everyone in your party while you're wearing this. And I think beyond that, it does kind of just give the normal stat bonuses. But that's just an interesting note there. The Legendary Cat, of course, gives that 30% move speed that we saw before. I don't have a binder on the character, unfortunately. And then the Legendary Siren seems to also be unchanged. So these are pretty cool. I do also plan on farming a little bit of Tubbies today. Hopefully we get them to spawn and drop items today. So that is a part of the plan going forward. Oh, they know what they were doing when they gave the Torg relics extra swap speed. There's no way they didn't. Unless the plan was for people to just become budget Krieg. Which, to be fair, it might have been that. That might have been the intended effect. We do have a legendary. The Jolt. You are a little slow. Greatly increased movement speed, fire rate, and reload speed when depleted. Gives bullet regen. Okay, well, my character's moving at normal sprint speed. But if we can get a guy to bully us a little bit real quick. Possibly. There we go. Yeah, we move pretty fast, but it does of course recharge pretty quick after that. So that's an interesting idea. That is kind of fun. Well, we could stay here and farm out that sniper, or we could go look for some of the more interesting items that spawn from custom mobs, because there are a couple OP exclusives that are from, like, custom enemies. So I would like to be able to see those too. Alright, so the next item we're going to look for is called Jumbler, and it drops from Krampus in the Snowman DLC. So let me figure out where he spawns, and then we'll get about that. Okay, so he does spawn back here in this little snowman circle like I thought he would, and hopefully we did not get the drop. That is completely fine. He's not too far away, pretty easy to get to, so we'll just do a couple runs. And we got one. Okay, well, the Jumbler. So let's go ahead and put it on. It is slag, so it could be a little better element-wise. But honestly, it's doing really good damage. It seems to want to burst fire, but in really weird numbers, so it's really hard to actually, like, keep track of. Okay, sure. Probably not too much of a raid bossing weapon, I would imagine. And to go ahead and just stay in Snowman DLC for a little bit, the next item we'll farm is the Superbow from the not so sarcastic anymore X slab. So let's go ahead and get it, figure out where he is. Oh, yes, this is just him right here next to this train. Okay, well, yeah, so he's here, we'll just farm him out. And there it is, okay. So, the Superbow. 50,000 pounds of compressed pain. If we shoot it, not much, but if we throw it, it just bounces really hard. That's the idea. Also, it actually does pretty good damage too. So the next thing we're going to farm out is actually multiple things from DigiPeak. We can get some pearls from Binary, but we can also get some items from some of the loot chests throughout Peak. So the current idea is to jump over to Binary, kill Binary, jump over to the rest of the area, and then just walk up to where the final chests are. Almost dropped my controller. And then just go farm those, basically. I will say, I have 4 less ammo in this bota than I would in vanilla. And it makes me a little bit sad. Because I don't know exactly what's doing it. Maybe the Tedior site? Don't know. Either way, we're just gonna jump off the map real quick. Not actually do the jump. Wait a minute. That works. Or I'll just hit 2 walls and fly off. Okay. There's an area you can land there, I just didn't. That feels bad. Alright, and we got a Stalker. Seems to do Stalker stuff. Too low. Or not. Okay, cool. We've got a Tunguska. Probably does Tunguska stuff? Yes, it does. Also, that blast radius is super big. Cool. Alright. And then jump over here after a binary kill. head over to this cave right here, since this door opens after you kill Binary. And then we have 3 chests here, and then we have those 2 over there. We've got one of the items already, okay. So this is the Disintegrator. It is quite painless, I assure you, is the red text. Oh. Okay, so it's a railer that splits into 3 pellets. It has a really low base damage, but it has a very high burn damage a second. And then you could try to pair it with a B-shield since it does have that unlisted pellet split. And it's based off of an energy system instead of having ammo. That's super duper cool. I am totally down with this. Interesting. That's very cool. I guess we could go shoot a guy. Who to shoot? Big flesh mob that is slow. Goldie. Bad Maw, that is also true. I hate that Goldie would be a correct answer there. Alright, so we've got a nice volunteer right here to go ahead and help us test out our equipment. It probably works fine. Of course, we are just kind of throwing a little bit. I don't know. It's probably good. How about we just shoot Bullymongs with it? So this item might be a little difficult to use well. But that burn dot is actually pretty strong whenever it does hit a mob. So it's kind of fair. And you can stack the dot too. It kind of works. Alright, we've got a Bearcat. Probably just a stronger version of itself if I had to guess. A lot of mods like to do that, and the stats otherwise look the same, and it seems to act the same. If not, the pellets might be a little more close, so that you can actually hit some guys with it. Okay. Another Stalker. I will say, the skin almost makes it look like a green rarity. Almost. So that could be a little confusing. Of course, the giant teal beam coming out of it will probably prove otherwise. But just the skin itself looks almost like a green. Oh, there we go. Okay, we have the grid. So, this thing is also another E-Tech sniper. And it is like a sniper conference call. That could be really, really fun on someone like Zero, for example. And you can spam it pretty fast, too. Shoot it in the air. Okay. I have been asked to shoot the grid into the air. Oh. Well, if you find an enemy big enough to get hit by all of this, then by all means, go for it. But I have some doubts. That is cool, though. That is super duper cool. Oh, and another Disintegrator that is not fire. Okay, so it can come in all elements. Gotcha. Cool. Okay, we're gonna try to use the grid against Warrior, since he is a bigger boy. We do have a B-shield on, because of course we do. Trying to mainly just to hit him with the extra side pellets, because there are so many extra side pellets. Kind of okay damage, weirdly. Not like super nutty or anything. Okay. Next enemy, we are going back to 6-ball to see if we can get him to actually drop an item this time. He dropped it first try. Okay, so the Shock Blast. This is what I was trying to farm pretty early on. It's a little slower, but that's pretty cool and also really strong. Cool. Alright, and the next thing we're going to do is farm Tubbies for a little bit, because we can get a lot of pearls from them that we could also get from Binary, alongside looking for a class mod at the same time. And since I have a Nor fleet, hopefully this will go a little bit faster. Possibly. We did just kill a Tubby. And it didn't drop anything. I'm gonna go ahead and disable build to fix. See if they start dropping stuff, just to be safe. He still didn't drop a Tubby comm, even though we have BL2 fix disabled and Exodus on. That's a little worrying, not gonna lie. Well, I really would still like to see a Legendary Wraith class mod, but if the Tubbies are being sort of iffy about dropping their equipment, I guess we'll just go farm something else more guaranteed. Yeah, I think I'm having a little bit of trouble with the hotfix not applying for Tubbies, so I am genuinely just not getting any loot from them, even if I reload the mod a time or two. So that's unfortunate, but we will move on and see if everything else works. Alright, the next farm we're gonna do is some loot nest for a little bit, because apparently they have their own pearl drops that they can drop. So we'll just kill a couple of them real quick, not too many. Just see if we can come up with anything. We got one of our items here. So this is the multiplex. Regenerates everything. Not entirely sure what that means quite yet, but I'm wondering if it also regens grenades too? And then maybe health. Not so sure about the health. I guess we can just get bullied a little bit here. Okay, no health back. We did get a grenade though. Okay. So it might just regen all ammo types. That's cool though. We've killed 25 runs worth of loot nest, which are pretty hard to get to normally if you were meant to come here by leg, like a normal person, and not just spawn like 25 of them back to back. So the drop rate might be a little bit low. They are pearls to be fair, but it might be a little bit low. Alright, we've got the barricade here. So very high capacity, reduces movement speed, and you gain massive damage reduction when it's depleted. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that movement is a little bit slower, but that shield is absolutely gigantic. 20 million capacity. Put that on a character with good shield regen and shield maintenance. Sure, the movement speed will feel bad, but you could counter it by just wearing a movement speed relic. Yeah, this could work. I could see this. That's pretty interesting. Up next we have Undying, which provides max health, health regen a second, and a chance to ignore death, which I could only imagine is like grit, probably. So let's let a guy wail on us and see if it makes any grit noises or exactly how this is going to work. Could also try to pair it with a turtle shield and a nurse to just kind of be a budget Axton. Possibly. Well, it might put our health a little bit too high. Okay. We could figure something out, though. I think I know a really good place to go ahead and test out whether or not this is grit, and that is in the Beatdown, because if it is grit, it will try to replenish our health while we're in the middle of Health Gate. And there are so many mobs there that are constantly shooting that we should just see our health bar fill and empty a couple times in a row if it is. That being said, it's only 28% chance to ignore death, so we'll see if that's 100% true. Okay, it doesn't give us health back. So it's sort of like Grit, just without the extra health back. Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, so it's just a chance to ignore death. Not really too incredible. But I guess if you were wanting to run a max health relic, it would be worth grabbing because it's just another stat that would be helpful. Alright, and another thing we do need to look at is the Sarah vendors all have an extra item in them now that we are in OP levels. And we can actually afford to, you know, buy a couple items since this is a duplicate character here. So let's go ahead and buy a couple things, shoot a couple things, see what everything feels like, see how we're feeling about it. Just see what things are. Okay, so we're not going to grab a Florentine because it does Florentine stuff. We can assume the Omen probably does Omen stuff. Stinger is probably a Stinger, Seeker is probably a Seeker. But we have this Redeemer here, which increases 5-year lifetime and damage while in 5-year life, and it provides bullet regen. I'm not usually a fan of items that provide bonus stats while in 5-year life because going down is already kind of a problem. So assuming you're going to go down means that you could probably just build your character a little bit better or run something a little better for yourself. We have Explosion here, which, if I had to guess, is just an instant explosion wherever you throw it. Oh, that is terrifying. Does it do self-damage? You can't really run into it, so I don't know. Okay, it doesn't do self-damage. Now, this is a Tina DLC nade, so it also provides ammo regen on itself. So you could potentially use this on an Axton or a Krieg with a Bloodbath or just a grenade build in general. So let me go to Bloodshot and throw this at a guy. Not incredibly impressive here. But I guess if you buffed it a little bit with some grenade damage skills and stuff like that, you could probably get it to work. Alright, now from Hammerlock DLC, we have Equilibrium, I believe is the OP10 drop here. Or it could be Deadeye. It's one of the two. So Deadeye is a 0 capacity, plus max health, health regen a second, and critical hit damage shield, which on critical hit kills increases the bonuses even further? Okay, so get a crit kill, deal more crit damage on the next crit kill. Sure, fun little stack there. The Infection probably does infection stuff, so we're not going to buy it. The Spitfire, we have no clue. Equilibrium, no clue. And Pendulum, no clue. So let's get these. Go ahead and shoot Pendulum. This is surely a very fast projectile speed launcher. Could be because of all the parts we have on it. Go ahead and grab a guy here. Yeah, that damage is just really good. Okay, interesting. Go ahead and test out the Spitfire. It's kind of just... Can't really tell. Okay. So, it's like a Pyrophobia and a Torgear had a child. Interesting. Then we have the Equilibrium, which is a scopeless Hyperion sniper. Let me shoot a guy with it. Okay, really good crit. Sort of just feels like a scopeless Hyperion sniper though, otherwise. I guess if you paired this with the Deadeye shield, that could be kind of fun. Okay, sure. We also have the Bludgeon, which was not in the last version of our vendor. It seems to just kind of be a masher pistol for the most part. Okay, sure. Alright, from Tor DLC we have the Desperado, which I'm not exactly sure what it is, and Influenza. So these, go ahead and put on the Desperado, go ahead and read the Influenza. Releases a Slag Nova when depleted, must fully recharge between Novas. I'm wondering if it constantly changed the Novas, or if this is just the fact that it's Slag is what's special. I would prefer if it chained them, because just being a Slag Nova shield, it feels a little bit odd to me. And then I guess we'll have to get a kill with the Desperado to see if it does anything special on kill. Alright, we have a volunteer. Sort of just... I can't tell. Seems to just be doing shotgun stuff, though. Okay. Yeah, so it might just be a nice shotgun. Alright, from Pirate DLC, Wretched, Tattler, and Patriot are all probably going to be pretty much the same as they always are. The crit might be a little higher on there, but that's also crit prefix. We've got the Actualizer, probably does that stuff. The Woodpecker, though, that is new. So let's go ahead and equip this. It fires twice when you pull the trigger. And it fires kind of slow. Maybe the damage is strong? Let's shoot a guy. Hey, normal guy. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of really strong. Okay. So just a really strong revolver. Okay. And then we also do have the Transmogrify that we need to go ahead and test out here too, because that is an item that we haven't shot before. Reflective SMG. Let me take this to Washburn. Alright, so the Transmogrify is doing pretty good SMG stuff. Albeit kind of just SMG stuff. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Besides the reflection, I'm not sure what the special effects are. Alright, so the next thing I want to farm for a little bit is BA Rex, and I don't know if it'll go well, but while we're here, I did also notice that 2 items were in this vendor, so that blower we saw before is here, and then the Apocalypse is also here. So I think the blower is just an E-Tech Torg launcher. Yes, it is. Okay, that's exactly what I thought it was going to do. And then the Apocalypse... Oh. Incredible. And I bet that just does a lot of damage. Okay, let me go shoot a guy with this. Alright, we've got some volunteers right here. Seems pretty good. Yeah. Alright, the next farm we're gonna do is Goldie, because he can drop a rocket launcher. So go ahead and get a kill. Not get lucky with the first drop, which is fine. We can just come back and do it again. Hey, we got the item. It is 1 OP level lower. Okay. So this is the Scourge. 100% slag chance, guaranteed to spawn as slag. And it spawns a bunch of extra little seeker projectiles wherever it lands. It's pretty cool. We need to go find a guy. That's interesting. It spawns like little leashes that try to reach out and grab an enemy for a little bit of damage, and then it goes away. That's kind of cool. I do want to go ahead and try to pair it with a drunk effect, though. Alright. Cool. Very interesting. We found an alternative to the hive. Interesting. Now we just need to put this on a gauge, and then you'd be good. That somehow managed to do absolutely no damage, and I am very surprised. Okay. Well, I will be honest, I did not get the most out of Exodus. There is surely plenty more to be done. There are tons of items to be found, but it just doesn't quite line up with how I play the game. Exodus is a really good mod. There are tons of items out there to farm. If you are the type of player who likes a scavenger hunt, so much more to do. So many more items to find, so much more stuff to test out and things like that. So absolutely give this mod a try. But this will be the end of this series, unfortunately. Next will be a Stranded Sal, so day 11.